It's February in Pittsburgh. While it's the off-season in the NFL, there have been very few quiet moments since the 2021 season ended just over a month ago.
God has blessed me with an ability to throw a football and has blessed me to play in the greatest city in Pittsburgh with the greatest fans and the greatest football team and players, and it has just been truly a blessing, and I'm so thankful to him for the opportunity that he's given me.
Kevin is going to step down from his GM role after the draft. Between now and the draft, he'll be fulfilling his normal responsibility.
My teammates and coaches back home in Pittsburgh, this truly is not possible without you guys.
And just as a few familiar faces have moved on, new ones have been welcomed to the black and gold.
And here we go, underway in this East-West Shrine Bowl.
All this occurred as the NFL's key off-season scouting events ramped up. It's all part of the process of preparing for the coming season.
Hey, you know what time it is?
The City of Champions.
And he's going to get set. Let's go! Touchdown Steelers.
The standard is the standard.
The road to the 2022 draft is a busy one. This year with two critical college scouting events occurring within the same week, and it started in the same city that will host this year's draft. So for the Steelers and scout Kelvin Fisher, the first stop was Las Vegas, Nevada.
For the East-West, it was four of us, four scouts. We had a full day every day, from 8 to 5 o'clock with a little bit of time in there for lunch. The East-West is the next level of players. I thought it was a real balance of good players at the East-West, and obviously it's a step up at the Senior Bowl.
Only 2 days after the East-West Shrine Bowl comes the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. Just as the game is important, so are the practices and interviews with the scouts. After focusing their attention on prospects during gameplay throughout the college season, this one-on-one time is invaluable.
You have a list of your players you did that you want to get information on, and then you have a list of the players who have good grades that you want to get to know as well. The way they have it organized, you really don't miss any players. You can evaluate them, you can interview them, you can test them. Yeah, you have full access. You can get to know these kids if you really want to get to know them.
All of that information is then brought back to Pittsburgh, where the scouts can now meet in person and begin the process of constructing their board.
So we're in the meetings now. And we talked about background information. And obviously your interview helps with the background information because you solidify everything that was said during the course of the year. The All-Star games, we have time to get everything we want to get done.
Next up on the NFL calendar, the Combine, which starts this week in Indianapolis.
At the Combine, there's so much to get done in 4 days. From the time those guys get off the plane until they leave, everything is structured and time managed. We'll go to Indy, and it's a different setting. So things are going to change, and the guys who didn't play in the All-Star game, you're starting from scratch.
All the way up.
It's not all workouts and interviews at the Combine. The prospects go through intense physical examinations, and that's where each team's medical staff comes into play. Head athletic trainer John Norwig has been with the Steelers since 1991. He and his staff have a multitude of job responsibilities that fill the NFL calendar year, from draft prep all the way through a full season.
Well, I think athletic trainers are responsible for a number of things. Obviously, the recognition, care, and evaluation and rehabilitation of athletic injuries. But in addition to that, I think we're also responsible for assisting the strength and conditioning staff in preventing anything that we can.
Norwig brings over 4 decades of experience in his field and leads a team of trainers who play a critical part in the day-to-day and overall operation of the team.
After working here for 31 years and over 10 years at Vanderbilt University and Penn State University and starting out at a high school, you don't often get to say that you love what you do. And I love a lot of things about this job. I was very fortunate. It's time consuming, you get married to this job. And there are many, many good things. Wins, the people you meet, the injuries you see, the physicians that you interact with. There's a multitude of things that make this job special. The people that you work with, we have a staff that they've all been here for an extended period of time. They're a group of good people that are hardworking, that are academic. It's very, very important to them, and that's what my job is. Every aspect, the small things do matter here because we want our team to win and we want them to have the opportunity to win. And if we can help them in any way, that's critically important to an athletic trainer.
Like most jobs in the NFL, being an athletic trainer isn't a typical 9 to 5, and during the season, working weekends for weeks on end is common practice.
Saturday, it depends whether we have a home game or a road game. We come in, have a walkthrough. Home games, we head home a little earlier. A road game, we head to the airport. Well, our staff sets up the training room the day before a game. And that's about an hour and a half, 2-hour process till 2 or 3 people can get the training room set up. On game day, the next day, we report 4 hours before kickoff. And then we have the game, about a 4-hour game, and depending on the number of injuries, it can be anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, 2 hours after the game before you get out of there.
Year after year, Norwig and his staff have provided quality care for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as technology and medical practices advance, so do they.
As time has gone on, we've understood more about athletic injuries and the care that an athlete demands. A high caliber professional athlete demands a lot of attention in order to make them as efficient as possible. So we've added on folks to assist us in that matter. The NFL has gone on and made every team have a full-time physical therapist with the team. So those are additions that have made us stronger. Over 30 years, things change, and I think that through research and academic adventures, we have improved ourselves. We understand. I think that the medical community understands athletic injuries much better than they once did.
His department is huge, There's plenty of times in the draft room when we can call downstairs and say, hey, John, this situation, what do you think? What did the doctor say? Boom, he'll give us the information, or he'll come upstairs and tell us. I think his whole staff has been great for us to understand everything that goes into their part of the draft.
Earlier today, many of the Steelers scouts made the 5.5-hour trek to Indianapolis for the annual scouting combine. Indy has played host for nearly 4 decades, but this is possibly the last time, as other cities will bid to host the event in the future. The times are changing for the NFL, the Steelers, and many teams around the league. What will the 2022 Steelers look like? As Coach Tomlin says, we're still writing that story.